Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at how we can use the Lambda listener so we can do some really cool stuff using Java and using the Lambda listener as the method of doing that. As you can see right here, I'm inside my Lambda panel. It's extended to JPanel class, and this is just so we can have it so we can actually demonstrate it. Previously, when you're working with action listeners, if you're following the old school style of doing it, you have to create a new action listener as an anonymous class, and then of course, you have to have the action perform method. There are so many different ways to misspell the word action performed with students that I've seen. It's just ridiculous. We want to try and avoid that. And also, we want to try and encourage students to use the proper way of doing things and using modern programming tools when available, especially when it makes it so it's easier and better to do the code itself as a whole. And so that's one of the reasons why we want to use a Lambda style listener for things that can actually support that, like action listeners inside Java. Another benefit of it, I don't have to worry about adding extra imports into my code, so it's just one less thing I have to write and actually doing the structure for it. So if we go over here, I've got my button right here. It's called Lambda button. I know, creative name. And we go up here and I put it inside the panel. I then install it to the panel using list.add, passing it to the panel inside my setup panel method. And my setup listeners, I have a Lambda button.add action listener, and I have the click directed to the update color. And so the update color is the helper method I'm specifically using to work with this. And so let's break this down and actually see what happens, and we'll see it demonstrated actually in the code itself. When we're talking about working with lambdas, we have to actually talk about the notation itself. And so the first thing we have is the parameter or parameters. And since this is a single parameter-based event, we just have it named click because it reflects what it does. I also use press occasionally because, again, I try to use the most boring terms possible, so it's very easy for you, the human, to understand what you're doing as you're working on this. We then have either the lambda operator or the arrow operator, which is the minus sign and the greatest sign together, no spaces, of course. And that's how we actually say, hey, I want this parameter to be directed to the following block of code. Now, I prefer to always wrap my block of code in a method itself because I think it looks a lot nicer, but you can just do a set of squigs inside there and put the code inside that and have it separated by semicolons. No, don't do some just anonymous throw crap. Make a method that describes what you're doing because it's honestly better to have your code, even if it's just a quick one-liner like I have right here with update color. It's like, oh, I can make this do the thing I need, and it's easy to update my code and not have to worry about having extra big, huge, giant wide squigs of information, and it's easier to do that. So again, when we're working with the Lambda, we have the idea of the parameter we're sending to it. If there's multiple parameters, they're surrounded by parens and separated by commas. Then the arrow operator or Lambda operator, and then finally the code that we are calling with that Lambda notation. So as you can see right here, I'm directing the click to update color. So update color goes over here and sets the background color to a generated random color, just making some color with that, and we can make that happen. So if I run over to my application right here, we have my demo using a Lambda listener. It starts off with green, and I click my button, and as you can see, my color changes randomly every single time I click that. And so that's the idea and the benefit of using a Lambda style notation. It makes it so it's very easy to write a listener for code, and you can have it right there. So you simply just do the Lambda button.action listener. It makes it so it's a one line for the actual listener itself, decreases the complexity of the code, especially if we're working with GUI and you're getting working on that. And it makes it so it's very easy to direct the click to that method, which you can then understand exactly what you're doing and going from there. I hope this is a helpful way to practice using lambdas. We'll have more examples of using lambdas in more complex applications in some other videos, but I hope this is helpful again. Cheers, we'll see you next time and have a great day. Bye-bye.